Hello, 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 hello. This is Heads of the Unknown, and I'm here to discuss a topic, another one that is on my mind. Another one. Um, so we all know that Evolution 2 is long, long overdue. Should have happened right after the first one, done an annual thing, but of course, Triple H wanted to do it, but of course Vince McMahon was like, haha, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to showcase how badass women are in an all women's pay per view or PLE. We're not doing that, okay? We're not doing it. Well, now his old ass is out, and Triple H says, alright, we're going to go ahead and do Evolution 2. Now, for me, I'm super ecstatic because it gives, people a chance to see how badass these women are. And now we're getting new viewers in because of the move to Netflix, and there's just like the casual wrestling fans that don't know so much about what's going on. Um, with wrestling in terms of storylines and stuff like that, or new wrestlers themselves, if they're casuals or people that used to watch it back in the day with the Attitude Era or even the Ruthless Aggression Era. Now have probably been brought back into it because of Raw's move to Netflix. So, what better way to start this whole thing is with Evolution 2. Get these women out there. Let everyone let the new viewers see what the hell this women's division is all about. I mean, hell, you got Raw and SmackDown. They have a stellar women's divisions, and NXT. It to me is, they keep saying NXT's women's division is the best division in the whole wrestling world. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have not watched like many like New Japan Pro Wrestling or any other promotions. I tried watching AEW, and I think their stuff is okay. It just feels like sometimes like either they overkill it or they just it's underwhelming. But I'm not gonna lie. Tony Storm and Tony Storm, the Timeless Tony, and Mariah May fucking killed it. I'm not gonna lie, I had to go search up on YouTube to watch that match, bro. On X, if you can go on X and you can find people dropping like full matches on that shit. That was fucking that was fucking great. And then you also have what's going on now with Mercedes Monet now. Um, her having all the damn titles and everyone calling her Mercedes Hogan and shit like that. I would kind of laugh at that, but then you have those same kind of people saying, "Well, Becky Hogan this and Becky," so some of that shit don't make sense. But it's just it's almost ridiculous because it's not like Becky has creative control necessarily like Mercedes does, but it's an overused thing, and it's an overused term, and I'm just fucking done with it, honestly. And Hogan's a racist piece of shit, so let's not even fucking go there. All right, we're going off topic here. Now, I get now the whole issue for me is yeah, we're gonna see all these badass women go out there and put everything out on display. They're gonna show how badass they are, how fucking cool they are, the entrances, everything match, going from bell to bell. But the problem is how quickly they came up with these matches. It's like there's no real planning, except let's just mash up like dream matches together, and let's just let's just see how it all works, how it all comes together. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton will be a really great match. Trish has still got it. We saw her, I think, a year or so ago, maybe 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Becky versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage in fucking Pittsburgh. That was fucking amazing. But, mm, and I just think that's going to be a really great match with Tiffany and Trish. And I feel like Naomi's gonna cash in. I think Tiffany's gonna win that match. I do not believe. I think Trish is gonna put her over. I know somebody said that it'd be cool if Trish won, but no, that's not gonna happen. I think Tiffany's gonna win, and I think Naomi's finally gonna cash in on Tiffany and become the new champion. And while I'm also talking about Naomi's got a match with Jade. Naomi versus Jade Part 2. WrestleMania was a pretty good match. To me, it was like a starter match, kind of a feud, and then they kind of were just here and there trading barbs and kind of going after one another. So now we're going to get Part 2, and Naomi has to win this one. And then cash in and win. So then at SummerSlam, we get Part 3 of Naomi versus Jade. This time Part 3. Part 3 for the women's championship. Naomi should go over there. She should win. And then that's when Bianca comes back and you can build that feud. And then maybe, hey, next year WrestleMania, I'm going to call it out. Bianca versus Naomi versus Jade for the women's championship. A triple threat match with those three women. The big three that WrestleMania 40, they all fought together. Now they fight against one another. That'd be pretty fucking cool. But even though that's all pretty cool, because here's the thing, the difference between Naomi and Jade versus Tiffany and Trish is that Tiffany and Trish, this thing just came out Friday. It just came out Friday. So you basically have only 1 week of build up, and I think that's kind of fucking lame. Naomi and Jade's been built in for months, so that's fine. And then your World Heavyweight Championship match, another one that's happening is Io versus Rhea. Now that one's been building over through, on the road to WrestleMania, and Io came out on top. I still felt Bianca should have won because I did not want her undefeated streak to end. I thought Triple H made a bad call there. But you can't do anything about it now. Still, I felt like Bianca did not need to be the one to get pinned there. I mean, she didn't get pinned, but she lost. Did she get pinned? I can't remember. But the fact is she lost, and that ended the undefeated streak, so I was pretty miffed about that. I'm happy. I said in that video while I was watching, when I was live reacting to it, that I would be fine if Io won. But I really wanted Bianca to win to keep that undefeated streak alive. I didn't want it to end, and it did. So, it is what it is. But the Io versus Rhea match is going to be a great match. I'm not even disputing that. They have put on bangers together. But it just felt like the delivery of it all was just kind of again, another one that just got mashed together and be like, all right, here we go. We got our matches now. We got our championship matches. No real build up to any of them. Although Io and Rhea kind of have already that built-in build-up so you can kind of reignite that very easily. But still, it's like in a week's time or 2 weeks time or whatever, from when it started on Monday to where it's gonna go over to next Sunday. I will be live reacting to that though. I didn't react to the Night of Champions thing because I had a lot of stuff going on. So, but I will be live reacting to um, Evolution 2 for sure. And then now we have this tag team title thing where unfortunately Liv Morgan got hurt, and I'm not hearing anything about Nikki Bella or Brie Bella. And I think the plans got scratched because of Liv Morgan's injury. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to go with Nikki Bella and the Bella Twins going against Raquel and Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. But because of Liv's injury, they've had to put a kibosh on that. So I'm pretty sure Nikki Bella may end up in the Battle Royal. Another one that they just threw together, which I don't necessarily mind because the Battle Royal is, especially if it's not like it's not a Royal Rumble, but it's just a Battle Royal where you just put everybody in there and just be like, okay, it's fine, because you don't really need necessarily like any fucking story built up to it. You're just putting people in there, and you're just, yeah, it's just a Battle Royal. But the women's tag team championship match, now that right there, I guess because you're again throwing Evolution 2 together, I guess you could kind of say that it's just for the sake of Evolution 2. But I think that's the point, and I think you have to make these titles and these stories really feel like they fucking matter. So I'm thinking that they're really trying to push this Roxanne and dang, I am blanking on her name right now. Roxanne and Raquel having to coexist with one another for the sake of retaining the title. So I guess that's going to be the story most of all, because none of these other women really matter. I don't think Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are going to win. They won, so I think they're in. But I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going to win. But I guess they're going to also, it's not necessarily going to be like the teams that are going up against one another have a problem with one another. So far, it's two teams right now that have like this built-in feuds with one another. Like Raquel don't want to fucking team with Roxanne for shit, and on the other side, Charlotte just doesn't give a shit about Alexa. Not really, to the point where, okay, she just wants to win the title, but she don't want to team with her. So it's not really a lot of already team togetherness, and not. And so I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Was Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame, did they win? Was that supposed to be part of the tag team thing for NXT? Damn, I cannot remember for shit. But it's just like none of these teams have any built-in rivalries, and I felt like that should have been the thing to do. I get it. You're trying to throw. Right now it just feels like Evolution 2 is more like we want to showcase these women, but we don't want to really have any of like truly big stories going into it to just elevate it to like the fans who have been watching this shit are going to be like, yo, that's a pretty cool payoff. The only one so far that I see is Naomi and Jade, and then Naomi cashing in on Tiffany versus Trish Stratus. So that's what I feel about that. And yeah, it just feels like, and I'm not even sure if the United States Championship is on the line. I'm pretty sure Julie and them, it's probably going to be brought in at the last moment on Friday. I'm not sure. But I want to see Julie. I'm pretty sure they will. But it's just like that the U.S. Championship's not really a priority. And it should be. On the other side, it looks like maybe, just maybe, we're gonna have a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship for the women with Becky Lynch, Lyra, and Bayley, and that's a fucking banger. That's probably to me going to be match of the night. Not just because all three of these women can go, but there is a fucking story that they were building up with this thing. It's probably the only true, other than Naomi and Jade, true legitimate story that's going into Evolution. I'd be pissed if they put that off till SummerSlam, because that's ridiculous. It needs to happen at Evolution 2. A triple threat match. And it seems like they set it up because Becky and Lyra both pinned each other. No one knows who won. It's a draw. So I would want Becky versus Lyra versus Bayley for the Intercontinental Women's Intercontinental Championship. That'd be a great fucking match right there. And you have the stories that are built in. So I'm hoping that gets put in there. And I think I've covered all the matches. I'm pretty sure. Now, the last thing of why I feel it's also an issue is with this Evolution 2, you put it like the night after Saturday night's main event. Okay, so you gave the guy, so you pretty much, maybe you could put more storylines into Saturday night's main event to push into Evolution 2. Maybe you can do that. But you're having it going up against AEW's All In. Now, AEW stuff is going up, and you can give them their props. There's more people starting going in attendance, and that's fine. Maybe it's because their 2025 isn't going as smoothly as 2024 went with WWE. Could say it's because of the Rock factor, maybe. Or just maybe just Triple H is kind of like losing, like having like all these stories and shit, and just fucking all over the place, but they're going up against AEW All In. Now, I'm not gonna try to demean the women and say that by saying this, but they don't stand a chance. Evolution 2 is something that's just barely starting out, and it's all women's PLE, and now there's gonna be some people that are not interested in watching women go out there and kick ass and be badass and shit like that, which is fucking ridiculous. But it puts them in a tough bind because now they're going up against AEW's All In, which is almost kind of like their WrestleMania in a sense, and that's tough to fucking do. You're not only gonna have like maybe 100,000 going up there, going up and watching it in Texas. I believe they're gonna have it at Globe Park. I think that's what it's still called. But you're gonna have all of them going there, and also people watching it. So it's going to be hard because that takes away a lot of the hardcore wrestling fans, perhaps. And some casuals might just want to go check it out and see what the fuck's going on. And so it takes away from the women putting on the showcase. It takes away from those women, viewers that could just want to watch them. They can't. It's not going to be as many eyeballs on it because you have something bigger happening on that same day. Now, I can't tell if Triple H did this so he could take away some viewers away from AEW's All In, but you're really hampering Evolution 2 and the women that are working so hard to put their shit together to get this shit out there. And you literally put it on the same day. You could have done it the next fucking weekend, but you didn't do it. He didn't do it. He put it on the same day as AEW's All In, and that's fucking tough to do because now you're putting these women in a tough position to have to go up against a whole fucking big event, and also the Beyonce concerts happening, I believe that weekend. So that's why I just feel like that's the issue right now with Evolution 2. It's just there's not a lot of build up to Evolution 2. And when you did announce it, I think they announced it at Night of Champions. Officially. I think they did, or it was that Money in the Bank. If it was Money in the Bank, then they should blame themselves because they should have had more built-in stories and at least drawn this shit out more. I'm thinking about the tag team thing, and maybe they're throwing that out there because of the whole Liv Morgan injury thing, and now they're kind of in a flux of having to do it. But still, it just feels like a lot of the build-up's not there like it should be, and it's gonna hamper this, and it shouldn't, because these women, again, as said, are badass, and they don't deserve to have an opportunity to shine dim because of bad build-up and because other shit is going on and not having those kind of viewers there. I think it's a really fucked up situation. I'm trying not to cut, but it's just tough, man. But I am happy that we're finally getting the Evolution 2, and I will be watching and live reacting to that because I want to go out there and just have fun and just watch Evolution 2 and just cheer these women on, man, because they deserve it. They put their bodies on the line just as much as the men do, and they have to do it even more so just to get people to just to turn heads or keep their eyes glued on the TV. Just watch. Because I was around during those times where, and I will say this, it's tough, but I even said back then, there's like times where I say, okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom because it's like a women's match is on, and there wasn't enough gravitas to it. So to get from there to being like, I'm zeroed in, I'm locked in, that's fucking cool. So we'll see what happens with Evolution 2. I'm rooting for them. I will be watching. I just hope it goes really well. But yeah, that's my only issue with. Those are my issues with Evolution 2. I just feel like these women are getting shortchanged, and they deserve better than that. All right, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about Evolution 2? Do you think they're getting shortchanged? Do you think these women deserve better, or do you think that everything's fine and I'm just being out of pocket saying the things I'm saying, or do you agree with me? All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the views. See you in the next video.